Namaste everyone and welcome to the Spake Satguru Sivananda. Hope you all had a lovely Shivratri and you were able to go to a temple and or introspect, whichever possible. So today there's no quote. What we are going to do is I'm going to ask lots of questions because, you know, inspired by all that Nana has said, inspired by Guru Garu, I did all that I could have for Shivratri. And I've heard all these stories, Nana, all these stories where people were not even Shiva Bhaktas, but then they accidentally dropped some water on Shivalinga or accidentally put Bilva Patra on Shivalinga, and they got moksha. Okay. Now, we are not doing accidentally. Okay, Nana, this you have to note the point. We went on purpose to the Gudi. We have done all the puja that we could with all the shraddha. Well, almost better. I'm comparing to the person who has done without knowledge. Okay, so compared to that, there is shraddha. Okay, when we have gone and we have gone on purpose and we've asked all this, and I haven't got any gnanam or mukti or moksha. So what's going on? Someone who has done without any thought process has got that mukti or moksha, and whereas we are doing all the things expecting that Shiva will shower the knowledge on us. So what is your answer to this? I mean, you have to tell us.
Yeah. Now we are in a relaxing mood with some questions coming up, and then
so questions are relaxing mode for you, Nana.
It's only relaxing mode.
Okay.
And I think we can all think about it and then come to some idea. Because no, we cannot make rules. No shastra can be made by us because already shastras are there. Already tattvas are there. Already philosophies are there. So there's nothing that we are going to have a new thing like Buddha or any other one who claimed themselves to be the prophets. Even our sages never, they have come out with their own philosophy. So they based only their ideas from the Vedas. So Veda Bahyam is not followed by anybody in the ancient times. So here, when we are taking the question of somebody who is said to have moksha, somebody who had joined that super entity. So, as we said, in their lives, generally what we see that, they have not heard of anything like that. They have not heard anything like Shiva, anything like Krishna, anything like Rama and all that. But still, they got it. And throughout their life, as you suggested, as you said, they have not done any puja. They have not done any karma. They have not done any tapas. They did not meditate on anything. In fact, they did not know that what they want. So you say accidentally. Yeah. We have Sri Kalahasti, where accidentally these three, they are not human beings. They are only animals. And these three have got the moksha. And you might have also mentioned about Bhakta Kannappa in the Srisailam area. And most of them, they have not studied anything, they have not known anything, they have not thought of, at least, of that supernatural power, what is running them. So this is something that even now also we say that just say Narayana, 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 and you reach Narayana. You just say Rama, 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 and you reach Rama. So here again there is some effort. You are doing some japa. You are doing some dhyana. You are doing some mananam. You are also doing some dhyanam. All these things are there associated with it. But without doing all these things, how is that, he got into Sri Rama, he got into what we call this Saijum. So they have reached that ultimate goal, even without knowing the goal. So this is a wonderful question that should we take ourselves a shelter under this idea of everything comes from above and then you sit quietly and you can do whatever you like and then still you are going to get it. By accidentally doing this, what we call adverb or whatever it may be, accidentally nothing happens in the Brahmanda. Take it, Guruji says, accidentally nothing happens. So, accident, you are taking it because you do not know the cause. That's accident, that looks like accident to you, an ajnani, an ignorant fellow. And there is also one more thing. There is nothing like an invention. If somebody said, the electricity was invented, the phone was invented, the mobile was invented, computer was invented. From where did they invent? Did they bring it something outside the Brahmanda and brought it here before you? You are only making, remodeling, redesigning, and programming the things which are there. As we see that the 5 elements are there, with 5 elements, the whole world has come into being. The 5 elements are there in everything, right from the human being down to the rock. Everything is made of these 5 elements. So generally, even in the Western philosophy, John Milton says, you have come from the dust and go to the dust. Yeah. So we have come from the dust and go to the dust. So nothing has come from somewhere. All objective things, everything has come from within. So there is nothing without. So we are now seeking some power which is within and also without. There can't be a without. That without must also be in within. That's why a within fellow can reach the without. That's the bridge. For which, yesterday we said that there is a curtain. A small curtain, a thin curtain or thick curtain relating to these individuals. So are formed. So when we say Kannappa means we say Bhakta Kannappa, Bhakta Mirabai, and Bhakta Ramadas, and Bhakta Tyagaraja, Bhakta Annamacharya. Who are these? All these things? They are not sages. They are not Shastris. They are not philosophers. They are not great scholars in that sense, in the Vedic scholars. They need not be. So even animals can reach that stage, that position, that revelation. So here we have to think about it. So all these, they come under Bhakta tradition, the Bhakti tradition. Is the Bhakti tradition a new one, a strange thing that was not there earlier? Even that is also not true. Because there are so many margas, pathas, to reach that without, from within. So they also say that, yogis also say that, you need not run here and there. You just go in, peep in, and there is something which you find, Hridaya Guha, a cave, something like a cave. Enter into it. And then the other end of the cave is something like a brilliance, some brilliance. So you are reaching to the entire Brahmanda and even beyond. So that super consciousness, you are awakened when you enter into this dark cave. So this is Tattva. But here in practice, what we generally see that, accidentally he was there, some beggar has come to the Shivalaya and the other day. So he was just watching for some puja was going on. Without knowing, he was not waiting for the puja, but he was looking at the food that is given in way, that is present. It was Nivedana was going on to the Shiva. So he was just, he was eyeing on that. He was not even eyeing on Shiva. But the whole night, the bhajan was going on and he could not sleep. He was only watching that. So that is Jagarana. Again, we call it as Jagarana. Since he did not sleep. So again, after some time, everybody have done their puja and then got away. And then he had slowly, he has picked up the samprasada and he ate it. But see, he got Ishvara Sahitya. Ishvara, he had the moksha, went into Ishvara. So just to know, because we have also been doing this Jagarana many times, because whenever we want to read or something or do something or do some research, we are all awakened throughout nights. But are we getting this Salokya, Sarupya, Sahitya with just waiting, waking up? So these are the questions. Generally what happens, the earlier practices, as we have seen earlier in the Kruta Yuga and the Dwapara Yuga and the Treta Yuga, the religious practices have been changing. So we refer to the tapas at one time and yajna at one time, and then bhakti at this time. So these things have been changing, and now the earlier population was separated population. The class people, the people who were associated with the rishis and then learning with them and in their gurukulas, that class of people were different. It was not a universal phenomena. And at that time, there were uncivilized, savage-like people were there in the forest. Some of them were also having this behavior of Rakshasas. So these things were there. Slowly that time has passed and the civilization has entered. After the civilization has entered, now these people have to be controlled. A social regulation has become necessary. And when you come to the Kali Yuga, in Kali Yuga, we do not find such kind of savages everywhere. Once it was there. Now, all common people are there and they are associated with this philosophies and other religious practices, all that they are doing. They are mixing with everybody and it's a mixture. Kali Yuga, we have the mixture of all kinds of people, right from class 1 to class 4. This is what we have in the administration also. We have class 1 positions and then class 4 positions. That's it. It's bound to be there. Classification has to be there. So now, what we get in our mind, because now intellect is very active, intellect is more active. So if you can achieve something, why not others? We have the example of Ramanuja, who had proclaimed this Ramanuja Mata, what do you call it, the Sri Vaishnava religious practices, the tradition, new tradition. So he said, if I am going to get this mukti, if I could reach Vishnu, why not others? So he reached at the top of the temple and then he pronounced this mantra to Om Narayana. Which his guru did not permit him. And it was a condition also before he has given this mantra to him, that he should not divulge this mantra to others. If he divulges this mantra to others, he goes to the hell. See? So that was the secret thing, because one has to go for mukti. One should have been prepared before he can before he could seek and then do some sadhana for mukti. The qualification was bound to be there. But without that, now we say that because Om Narayana Namaha works wonders, then why should I alone should have this benefit? Why not all the people? So he pronounced that mantra. All these are possible, have become possible because at the beginning of the Kali Yuga itself, so we have Krishna. Krishna has brought this bhakti tradition into practice. But bhakti tradition is not new, but it is there from the times of Narada. So we generally say that, Narada Bhakti Sutras are there. Narada Bhakti Sutras are the earlier sutras on bhakti tradition. But it was not practiced, as you see, universally. But after this tapas and yajna, and these things have become, they have been misused or abused by certain individuals, then Krishna has suggested this bhakti. So from there, love of Krishna has started. And when we have started Krishna, love of Krishna, then love of Rama has started, love of Shiva. All these bhaktis, these things have come from the Krishna times. That is the beginning of the Kali Yuga, and that has been continuing now. Now, you may be doing some yajnas, you may be doing some tapas, but they are not the universal practices. We always say, and we also say that these things are Vedic practices, and then only Brahmins can do, and all that. These things we can discuss later when we come to the societal questions. So here we have also seen that there are two more other traditions. Jain tradition is there. Then later, the latest thing is Buddhist tradition. Mahavira tradition was not that universal, because he did not make it universal. He did not universalize it, because their practices are very difficult to follow. Digambara, and then there is a change in the Digambara, and the new sect has come, Shvetambara. But their practices are very difficult, and they are meant only for those selected people, not for all. Only the principles, Triratnas, can be understood by universally, but practices are far from a common man. But at that time, Buddha has come, and Buddha has not brought any practice, no religious practice. What the Buddhists say today, these are only the which have come in course of time. But these practices, Buddha has not dictated. Nothing like any dictation by Buddha. Buddha has not dictated anything except Vinaya Pitaka, the code of conduct. Code of conduct for whom? Not for all. Code of conduct meant for only those who live in the monastery, Buddhist monastery, not for the common people. So he has not suggested, he has not given any particular rules for the society, and no practice, no religious practice is prescribed, and he did not accept the concept of God. So it has become very popular, because the Buddhist tradition entered it, the Bhakti tradition entered into it, and Buddha is not just Buddha. Buddha preceded by so many bodhisattvas, and then he will be followed by other bodhisattvas. So in new tradition, as we have in the Hindu tradition, the Vishnu avatars are there, incarnations are there. Similarly, in Buddhist traditions, most of these Hindu traditions have entered in the course of time. And Buddha is not connected with all these things. Buddha said, I have come, I am going. That's all. He did not mention about the Bodhisattvas and all that. Even the other two Pitakas, they are not dictated by him. Vinaya Pitaka was done before him, and he caused that Vinaya Pitaka, Code of Conduct. So similarly, we will see that these things have come up for the sake of common man. So how to popularize the bhakti? How to popularize the bhakti? This way, you learn to do all these tapas and yajna, because now we have to make a distinction between the others. So they are very difficult that you cannot practice. But just to take the name of Narayana and you go, you will be what you call attaining to the Kaivalya. So this is the method which attracted all the people. It's only to attract all the people. But even if that tradition is there, now you say that the stories have come like these several that we hear. Maybe they may be true, they may be clear, they may be true, but still, did they happen accidentally to them? Is the question. Guruji once, for a question, somebody, Times of India, the editor, I forget his name, he wrote a small an editorial wherein he says that, my dearest friend was, because he is agnostic, the editor was agnostic, Kushwant Singh, he was agnostic. So he said that my friend was a very cultured man, and a very righteous man, and very, very well educated, a good scholar. But he was so poor and so problems, no number of problems he was encountering. And then he died at the age of 30 or 35, he says. How did it happen? So he was always in the Dharmic path, and he was known to be a very good gentleman, a good fellow. But he was facing all the problems, all poverty and everything, and he could not even support his family. And he died early. So suppose if you have all these dharmic things and all those things, so why was he not comfortable in his life? Because I know that he has not done anything in his life that that should spoil his karma. So that for that Guruji has given one simple example, one simple answer. He says, yeah, what you have seen is only his life in the present life. We don't believe in that this is the life for once and for all. So this life has come to us through so many lives. We have come to this stage. Before that, what is our karma? We don't know. We only know that when he was born and when he is going to die, when he is dying, and in between what he has done. But what he has done earlier, do you know? Even a Rakshasa, like for a fellow, just before dying, if he thinks of that, everything has been done by him, very problem, so a lot of sins I have committed. Narayana, you please save me. Suppose if he says that, that is in the last moment what he desires. That is followed in the next life. So you only see his conduct in this life, but you are not seeing the other lives. So this is the most important, because accidentally means, how do you accidentally say that this Bhakta Kannapa or the animals that they got the moksha? So you are only seeing them in the form of elephant and in the form of spider and in the form of bird. But their lives earlier, because there are also some munis, some sages, who does not want to take human life. Because in human life, again, the karma follows them, and then he has to do certain things and then pile up his karma. So instead, they take some animal lives, like birds or like snakes or something like that. So that, they are relieved of doing something in that life. Because animal life is, they are not doing anything. So there is no karma with them. So their previous lives you do not know. But as we see on the screen, that an elephant got the moksha by doing this, by sprinkling some water on Shivalinga. So certain things are there which we do not know, so we cannot pass a dictum on that. But this is possible in Bhakti tradition. In Bhakti tradition, there are so many stories, and those stories may be real stories, but you need not doubt them. But they have their past. The past, that we do not know, so we cannot judge their present. That way, the Bhakti tradition continues. But if you have not done anything earlier, if you start bhakti now, at least this bhakti may take you to the goal. If you sincerely follow, and the basic principle that we said is surrender. In bhakti tradition, surrender comes. So surrender is the most important thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Nana, beautifully answered. In the content, what's happening is people keep on, before Shivratri, lots of videos come through saying, sorry, excuse me, saying, oh, so and so Bhakta has done.
No, we are not negating them.
accidentally.
We are not negating them. We are not negating them. But there are instances where they get, but their past is also important.
Their past is important. Yes.
That past
Yes.
we do not know.
Yes.
So we cannot say that it doesn't happen or it happens. It happens, it does not happen also.
Yes, Nana. Beautiful. I have another question though. I don't think we have time. Maybe we can deal with that next time. You see all these people going to the temples and getting these nice, darshans. Now there are also ways to have a darshan online. How is that darshan different to this darshan? When we go to temple, we have this feeling, oh, we have to go near Garbhagudi. Oh, we have to touch the God. Only then we are satisfied. First of all, we think, at least if I get a darshan of Gopuram, then that is good. Then after seeing Gopuram, we think, at least if I get the darshan of the
as you get elevated,
Murti,
you will understand that. But the way, because the interest that they show in going to the temple and observing the puja, and also possible take some ticket and then do puja by themselves, all these things are there. And they have their own effect. They have their own results.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah,
we can discuss this about the temple going, because Guruji has said so many things about the temple worship.
Yes.
We'll come to it later. When we come
do that.
with regard to the religious practices, then we can come to the temple.
Yeah, we don't have much time, so I will have to wrap up for today. But thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining today. And see you all again on next Friday. That is coming Friday. Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste.